Hiya and welcome back to more Microprose Nighthawk F-117 Stealth Fighter 2. I think first starting off with a bit of a post-mortem from the last video. Obviously ended up crashing when we came back into Key West, which is not ideal. Over the course of that flight, we had taken some damage, and I think that's what made it tricky. Was when we were coming into land, the damage was making the aircraft unstable as we were coming in. It was sort of wobbling all over the place. And so to try and compensate that, I'd added a bit more throttle, which ended up meaning we came into land way too hot. I think it ended up going, the speed was going up and almost reached 500 miles an hour. So yeah, came in way too quickly. I noticed back on the first video, I had come back into the runway much slower. It was more around 300, but it was much more stable. And that damage had stemmed from when we'd taken a couple of hits. I'd sort of messed up, remember, with the keyboard sensitivity. I couldn't even work out how I'd changed it in the first place and how to change it back. That was actually the insert key you need to change it back, and it took me too long to realise that. Another thing that messed us up a little bit was when the incoming missiles actually hit us. I thought I was going to get like a 2-second warning of an alert saying you're going to get hit here, and then it gives you a chance to deploy chaffs and decoys, but I didn't get that warning, so we got hit and took that damage. So what I want to do today, starting up a new character, same settings as last time, regular opponents, easy landings. So we'll take this one, and I do want to, sort of confidence took a bit of a knock on that last one, so what I want to do is just, again, fly Cuba, conventional war on a strike mission. All I want to do is do a simple mission. I haven't yet managed to do a mission where I've completed both objectives and landed, so that's what we want to do. So ideally 2 easy ground targets and a landing at Key West is what we're after here. Depart from USS America, destroy a missile boat, an SS missile. We struggle with those actually on the first mission, so I will try and pick a munition that is good against those surface to surface. Is it surface to surface target? SS missile. I don't know. Anyway, something based near a SAM site. So against the missile boat, I'm going to take. It suggests a harpoon for that, and I know they're most effective against anti-ship weapons, but I know that a Maverick can do the job against those as well, so because we've taken those out in the past. So it's suggesting a cluster against missiles, which is it's not laser guided, retarded full incendiary. We'll give it a go if that's what it suggests as being the one to do the job, unless there's something else is here that's maybe guided against missiles would be ideal. Rockeye, paveway, toss bomb effective on buildings, bunkers, bridges, no. Right, we'll go with that then. We'll go with the cluster. It's not guided, but we'll try it anyway. And then another set of Mavericks. So if we go off to the hangar.
Cleared for takeoff.
Right, first thing to do is to change the sound settings. Alt V, put it onto sounds 1. Hopefully that gives us all the sounds except for the sound of the engine noise, which no one wants to hear because it's horrible. Shift plus, full thrust. And then 0 brakes. And as soon as we get up to a bit of speed, we can then take off. Retract the gears with 6. So what we want to do immediately is bank around, start flying north. And we're going to head straight north. We'll just check the waypoint, which is F7. Yep, straight north pretty much. We do go pretty close to that. There's a missile boat there, you can see it, that little black dot on the map. We'll head straight for that. We'll try and take out with a Maverick. We'll head straight for that. And then, yeah, the first target is just beyond that. And you can see, the radar should pulse. There you go. And you can see we're heading straight for that missile boat. F2 changes the target we're looking at. We'll toggle to ground targets. We can see there's no targets in the air at the moment. Just look behind us, USS America, and it tells you no target, so we definitely won't be trying to shoot that down. And again, change to the tactical map with F3 and zoom out on that with X. and eventually we'll be able to see the missile boat pop up on that. But what we'll do for now, just accelerate time, because again, the start of the flight, getting into the actual enemy territory can take a bit of time. So we'll just shift Z to accelerate on that. Just check we're heading in the right direction for this missile boat. It's a bit further to the right, isn't it? Yeah, you can see it on our tactical map there. Oh no, there's two. No, we want to head for that left one. Okay, we don't want to deviate too far off our course to try and take that right one out. So we'll keep on going this way. Right, missile boat's got us on radar ID. Oh, we want to lose a bit of altitude here. We're being easily detected. You can see the track bar at the bottom. And that blue and red bar, that shows our radar signature. And you can see the blue, we want it to be as much blue as possible. You see we're nice and low, that blue bar is nice and big. It makes it much harder for them to track us. So eventually we want to detect this missile boat. You keep pressing N and B until it's within the sort of right range, and then it'll pop up. Come on, we're quite close to it now. There we go, missile boat. So we've got our Mavericks. That's what we're going to try and take it out with. That blue box, the bigger the blue box is, I think the better. It's sort of an indication of how good your munition is against it. See, cluster, well, not so good. Mavericks, pretty good. The bigger the box, the better. As soon as we get within 30 kilometers, I think the range is, we can then open our bay with 8 and fire off the Maverick by pressing enter, and hope that it doesn't try and shoot us back. Right, so that's locked. 8 to open the bay, enter fire, 8 to close it. And that's fire and forget, so we can just turn off in any direction, and that will still keep going. Right, it's fired off an SA. We're going to deploy a flare. And maybe another one, because it still looks like it's heading straight in our direction. I'm going to try and see if we can get it to avoid us, that missile, just by manoeuvring a little bit. It seems to have done the trick. Right, excellent. Missile boat destroyed. There's a plane right in front of us. I'm going to change my target type to air. Switch to Sidewinders by pressing space. There we go, Sidewinder. And eventually it will detect this incoming MiG-23 flogger. Again, let's get the altitude down again. I need to remember to stay low on the altitude, otherwise we're going to get bombarded. Right, when it's within, I think, 18 kilometers, we'll open the bay and we'll fire off the Sidewinder. Close the bay again. Nice. And again, we can see right in front of us on the map is an upcoming SAM site. We'll use that last remaining Maverick in that bunch. F2 SAM radar. So as soon as that gets within 30 kilometers, so effectively we want to take out the SAM radar so they can't detect us and they can't fire missiles at us. It's as simple as that. Again, too high. Just get us nice and low, but not too low that we crash. As soon as that hexagon pops up, open the bay, close the bay. There we go. Right, let's get onto that. Make sure we're heading in the right direction. So as soon as that little SAM radar gets blown up, that little black dot is going to disappear on that little island, which is good news for us. So we're destroyed. Just telling us that a MiG's taken off from an airbase, so that is probably heading straight towards us. It's probably knows we're up to no good, wants to take us out. Right, here's the primary target. Okay, so we've got our Mavericks ready. Nice big square indicates that the Maverick's quite well suited. Hopefully one Maverick will do the job here. Right, again, they're firing at us. We've got loads of chaffs. We've got 18 chaffs, so I won't be too shy in using those. That's the SAM radar from miles away that's firing that towards us. Right, we're locked. Open the bay. Fire. The fact that he's fired from so far away makes me think that we've got a good chance of being able to avoid that. I'm going to pop us onto the tactical map so we can see the fact that this missile's incoming. I'm going to fire up the flare, maybe a decoy is fine actually. Just right, I'm going to change to air targets. F2. Got a fulcrum coming in. I'm going to try and take this out with. Right, we're taking out the primary target. That's excellent.
Primary target hit.
Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use a sidewinder. Open, close the bay. Destroyed. Okay, get us back. Just make sure we're flying in the right direction of the next target, which was, just remind myself, that's the SS missile. Okay. We've still got 2 sidewinders, 1 Maverick, and 2 clusters. So I'm going to try and take out another SAM site because those are a pain. So we'll use the last Maverick on this SAM site. Once it's got the lock, open the bay, fire. Right, we don't have any Mavericks left, so we can't take out any more any SAM sites or missile boats. So we're just going to have to play the avoiding game on those ones. Again, I think when I bank around to the corner, it tends to gain me more height than I would be. Right, cool. So on to the next ground target. We're going to be using our clusters for this. I think what happens, I'm just going to pause it for a second just to refer to the manual around firing clusters, because I can't remember if we need to be like above a certain height or anything. Minimum release altitude, it says in the book, is 500 feet. Okay. I think if we try and fire it from around this sort of height, then we'll be okay. And I think what happens here is you see that red bar at the top. That bar should get smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think when the bar gets to when the 2 sort of vertical bars are almost touching, that's when you want to fire it. That's showing that you're getting closer and closer. And we'll show the ideal time. And I think it's, ideally it's before you're above it, because it's gonna fall down at a sort of diagonal angle rather than sort of straight down. You can, and we want to make sure we fly directly over it as well. "17 kilometers out." Yeah, I remember as a kid, I always used to avoid these missions where you didn't use guided weapons. See that bar? I'm going to open the bay. As soon as that bar gets to... May have messed that up. Oh, town destroyed. Town? I destroyed a town. Okay, that's not good. Actually, it wasn't even the primary target, that one. This is the secondary target. It's the one we want to be hitting. I was flying towards something completely different. But anyway, that was not so good. Right, okay. I was aiming at the wrong target. I think I was a bit too late firing that. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to refer back to the book about firing unguided missiles, unguided munitions, because I think I was way off on that. Oh, I don't know. We'll just give it a go and we'll see what happens. I want to get way lower, I think. Definitely destroyed by cluster. Right, okay. Right, so that's not worked at all, is it? I've got a couple more incoming missiles. I don't have any more munitions to fire at that SS missile, so we're not going to be taking out our secondary target, which is unfortunate, but never mind. The main thing I wanted to achieve on this mission was to manage a safe landing back at Key West. That's my main thing. Get back on the tactical map. I'm just aware there's quite a few aircraft around us. Oh my god, we're actually a bit surrounded here. The flogger is right beneath us. But I also want to make sure we're flying in generally the right direction, which is I want to escape now to Key West. Once we're a little bit clear of these guys, I'll probably try and turn around and take one out, or two out, because I've got two sidewinders. Although, actually, I've just noticed we're actually quite low on fuel, so we need to be a little bit careful. Alright, but I don't want to let these guys just get away, so I'm going to loop all the way over. We're upside down at the moment. Some Top Gun stuff right here. Oh god. Right, once it gets within 20 kilometers, 18 kilometers I think it is, we can release the Sidewinder. Fire and forget, we're going to try and find a new target. There's a fish bed over here. Open, fire, close, and away we go. Right, well, we've spent all our munitions, and now it's just a case of trying to land at land back at Key West and not get hit by any missiles in the way. We've got a MiG Fresco right behind us. We could try and take it out with gunfire, but yeah, why not? It's fun, isn't it? But I am a bit obviously noticed we haven't really got much fuel left. But here we are. I'm going to try and take it out with gunfire. You need to really get close enough that you can. It stops being a white dot and ends up being the actual shape of the aircraft. He's climbing. It's 11 kilometers out. 8 kilometers. Oh, look at that. MiG 17 destroyed. Bit of a stall, it's not a problem. We've got some incoming missiles. Let off some chaps and some flares. Right, now we've got 300 fuel. We definitely want to be getting back. I'm also going to. I don't know whether it's more efficient to drop the fuel down, the thrust down to like 80 or something, but let's just get back. Let's just get back now. Here we go. 372 fuel. It's surprising how quickly it goes down though. We'll accelerate time. I'm not going to get tempted to turn around and try and take out that MiG that's chasing us. I'm going to let him survive, I think. They are chasing though, that's for sure, but they're not shooting yet, so that's good. I'm going to definitely get lower. I don't know. Again, I'm so high. Look how high that bar was in terms of how easy it is for them to track me. But so we'll just drop down to about 1,000 feet. At some point, that MiG's going to want to give up on trying to chase me, but not yet. He's still hot on my tail. Right, it's fired a flare, decoys, everything. I'm just going to fire everything off then, in the hope that it does the job. Yeah, wow, that was actually really close. You saw the missile flying straight at my head. Goodness me. It's fired another one. Okay. I've got one more decoy. That's my last decoy. They're firing another missile. Fire off a bunch of chains. That's flares, that's fine. There we go. Right. Oh, wow, actually got a bit low. Right, that MiG's given up now, thank goodness. Right. I'm going to change to my tactical map so we can get an idea of the line of the runway. I'm going to change to ground target with F2 just so we can try and find Key West, and then we can get a good view on the runway to try and make sure we line up on it straight. This is good. We haven't taken any damage, which should mean we have no excuse for crashing here. I'm going to do this exact same approach as I had last time, except I'm not obviously hoping that when we come into land it's going to be much more stable. We'll open up the gears, the landing gear, and drop the thrust down a little bit now to 80. Try and get centered on that. Yeah, lower the thrust down to about 70 when we come into land. Open up the landing gear and deploy the flaps as well. Not quite straight yet. So I just want to straighten up a little bit on that runway. I think we're going to be okay. I want to get the speed down to about 300. Get the landing gear out. Hopefully it's nice and stable. Dropping the thrust to about 50. You should notice the speed dropping quite drastically. Hopefully it's not lowered so much that we stall.
Cleared
Landing
to
gear
land.
coming out. Flaps. Oh, wow. No, right. I'm not happy with that. Let's get the thrust back up. I was not happy with that landing. It had the same sort of feel as last time in terms of it was a little bit wobbly and I wasn't perfectly straight on it. We've still got 200 fuel, so I think we'll be okay, but we just want to get a little bit further out. It just didn't feel quite right then. When we get to about 20 kilometers out, I'll bank back around. I'm going to end up approaching the runway the wrong direction. I don't think it really matters. Right, okay. Dropping the thrust a little bit. Again, I want to get nice and straight on the runway. Not quite yet. You'll see it on the little camera when we get nice and straight with it. Nearly there. 10 kilometers out. Drop the thrust to 70. You'll notice the speed dropping. Landing gear out. Flaps. Drop the thrust. Drop the thrust. Drop the thrust. Coming into land. Drop the nose a little bit and then we'll stop. We crashed again. We actually managed to get down on the deck alright. It was just that I landed way too late on the runway. And yeah, there we go. Again, well, performance rating for the mission was 313, which is really good. 5 enemy aircraft, 6 ground installations destroyed. Not bad. We destroyed the subboat. A good amount of aircraft, lots of ground stations. I mean, we destroyed a town. That's not good, is it? And then a depot, but not the SS missile we're actually after. Flogger got a bit of a ruckus here. Ended up flying and crashed. We were posthumously awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross by the Valor in line of duty. But yeah, KIA. Not ideal. Anyway, cheers for joining. We'll have a bit of a debrief on that one next time. And yeah, catch you again soon.